There you go. All right. Okay. Sustainability. I'm Tim Moore. I'm with a company called Hilton Corporation. We finance fashion brands, and basically I've been there for about a lot longer than I want to admit, about 26 years. And we basically work with small brands and we make them into big. And so I've seen a lot of companies grow over the years, and they do it in all different ways. And it's kind of what I know a little bit about everything, but not a lot about something. So it makes it kind of fun to have all the experts give us the real deal on sustainability. So I think what would be best just to go around and everybody's going to introduce themselves, and so you can know who the panelists are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jordana Guimarães. I'm actually the co-founder of FashionOvation. FashionOvation is a global platform connecting CEOs and founders globally from tech and to fashion ecosystems. We, in the last 6 years, have had over 1,000 CEOs, founders, and presidents of companies, both in the tech and fashion side, speak on our platform. Last year, we were invited by NASDAQ to ring the opening bell, and it was an amazing moment for our company. And we also now work with governments such as Saudi Arabia, Panama City, and others, bringing global to local. Last but not least, I have my book back there. I'm a published author of a book called It Can Be You, and it's to humanize homelessness using the voices of fashion. So please do check out the book, and thank you so much for having me here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cassandra Youngs. I am a local fashion designer to Miami. I planted myself here about 20 years ago from upstate New York, and managed to put myself into the Miami circle. And I work in couture base, and I actually recycle items and make really beautiful pieces out of recycled items.
That's great. That's the future. Hi, I'm Keni Valenti. They're calling me the king of vintage, but W called me that. So I didn't call myself that. But anyway, I'm a vintage clothing collector and dealer. I had the Museum of Fashion in Wynwood for 5 years. And now I'm working with The Real Real with my collection, which has been amazing because they really do sustainability. The Real Real is just an amazing place. So if anybody has any kind of clothes they want to sell, there's Jennifer Boyne-Getz's over there. Will gladly come to your home, okay?
Hi, everyone. I'm Mindy Mahy, and I'm the founder of Couture Water, which is a purpose-driven, quality-focused water brand. We're primarily served in hospitality, and we're really just getting into the space where we want to have a water option for these hospitality clients across the country that's domestically sourced. And then we also have a stewardship program that picks up all of the empty bottles and takes them to our local scrap metal partners across the country. And about 60 days later, they come back as another can or another bottle, really leading the way into a circular economy. So nice to be here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sophie. I'm the founder and executive director of Clean Miami Beach. We host beach cleanups and educate about the negative impact that plastic has on our environment. We also do a lot of work in legislation. We recently helped advocate for the recent balloon ban in the state of Florida, which I'm very excited about. Thank you. And next week, I'm actually flying to DC, taking 4 high school students, and we will lobby for ocean rights in Congress and in the White House, which is very exciting.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sasha Royce. I'm CEO and founder of Smart Swimsuit Company. And last year, we won an award as the most innovative and sustainable swimwear brand of the world. And I want to show, I want to invite my model, and I show you right now how our swimsuit line looks like. First, you can tan through the fabric without tan lines. The fabric itself works as SPF 35 effect, and you don't need to use sunscreen or less sunscreen. It protects your skin from the sunburn. At the same time, it protects our oceans ecosystem because chemical sunscreen killing reef and corals. And another perfect part about our swimwear, we are making them from recyclable plastic. They dries up around 5 to 10 minutes on your body after swimming. You don't need to change your clothes. You can pair it with like beautiful robes, pants, and be ready to be in the restaurant, for example. And we have collections for men, kids, and women. Another best part about our fabric, it do not fade or lose colors yearly. We're bringing back slow fashion to the market. Yes, this is why we're so sustainable and eco-friendly and the best swimwear from last year. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. So, okay, so first question is, and we're going to just kind of pass the mic around. Anybody can answer, and we're going to make this more of a discussion format. So, tell us about your view on sustainability.
Yes, again, Sasha Royce, Smart Swimsuit Company. For me and for our company, like it's our mission to be as much sustainable as we can from like the beginning, from the production perspective, bringing the messages from technology perspective, even the experience when you order in there, like swimsuit or any other clothing, right? To reduce carbon emission from the delivery also time. And if we not will think about it right now, for example, 98% of coral reefs right now in Key West already dead. If you will continue using, like, for example, just sunscreen, we will be out the beautiful reefs and we will have no fish. And right now it's time for everyone to think like, okay, what sustainable expertise, like sustainable practice I can do every day in my life. And we as a fashion brands and people who like from this industry, we need to bring this message all around the world. Yeah, this is like what we are doing.
Absolutely. Okay.
Can I get, sorry.
I know.
I just, the one thing I want to say about sustainability, so I'm an optimist in many things in my life. I tend to maybe get on the pessimistic side of sustainability, not because I don't think it's amazing and everything you guys are doing, but I think the consumer is left out of the conversation. And to change the consumer behavior, we need to bring them into these conversations. So I think for me, when I think of sustainability, I think of the importance of community and community engagement. And there are companies like tech companies, since this is what I focus on, like called e-commerce as an example, where they decentralize communities into one centralized platform. And then you're able to, as a brand, have full control over your community and engage them with giving them experiences through Web3 and engaging them in why sustainability is so important. So until we start to do that, every one of us as an industry, no matter what industry you're in, we can talk all day about how amazing what we're doing is. But if the consumer has no idea, they're going to continue to shop the wrong brands, and sustainability is never going to be a thing. So this is where I think it's so important to just think of community, community, community. And this is what I think about.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else would like to jump in there?
Yeah, no, I think that sustainability is a conscientious mentality. You know, it's a sense of accountability and choosing brands that are being transparent and authentic, what they're doing. And it's not just creating a sustainable product, but what happens to that product once it's out there. I think, you know, historically, the corporations and companies, they pump out as much product as they can without thinking about what happens to this once it's out there. Who's going to deal with the waste that's out there? And that's why we implemented the stewardship program, because we're putting these bottles out there. Now what? And picking them all up with all of the other aluminum was a part to really take accountability for the waste that would be if we didn't pick it up. So sustainability, I think, is just all around just being conscientious.
Great. Now, I guess my one question is, and I've asked this question before, is it really possible? I mean, can you have a fully sustainable brand? Or what percentage is acceptable?
I think that you can have a sustainable brand, and the start of it is that it's always progress, not perfection. You're not going to come into this and have no holes that someone can come to you and say, well, that's not the most sustainable practice. But if you're conscientious about every aspect of your brand and how it's being produced, sourcing as locally as possible, and then also considering the other side, the waste once it's out there, that is a sustainable brand that's making significant progress with a positive impact versus the alternative.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Well, I think that. Oh, sorry.
That's all you.
I think that you could buy vintage clothing from eBay or Etsy, and the young kids today are redesigning the clothes. They're buying like jackets and taking the sleeves off and putting them on a shirt and cutting the pants down the middle and having one side yellow and one side blue. So you could recycle what we already have. I mean, God knows we have enough clothing in this world, period, everywhere. It's polluting our oceans. It's polluting everything. So vintage clothing and places like the Real are great. Like the shirt, I've gotten 10 compliments on this shirt today. It's Etro. I bought it on the Real for like $100. If I would have went to Etro, it would have been $700. You know what I mean? So there you go.
So I do believe that as a brand in itself, you have the capability to be sustainable. It's just a mindset. So making your mind up to saying, this is what I'm going to do, and putting one step in front of the other to see it through and to kind of figure out like what's the roadmap to getting my brand in a better basis so that it's better for the earth, the environment, and also like your communities. I've been doing it. I mean, I do not manufacture. I work on a one-to-person basis, and I don't advertise in word of mouth. And a lot of my pieces that I work with, you'll see a couple of them come out. Some of it is remnant rope. Lately, I've been really into rope. I worked for a rope manufacturing company last summer, merchandising their showroom. Actually, ladies, maybe now is a great time to come out and you can show. Can I have my rope pieces come out? Wow. Okay. Beautiful. So basically, I was asked to merchandise a showroom. It's a rope manufacturing warehouse. I'm really good friends with the owners of the company. And they're actually one of the main suppliers to the United States Navy. They're cranking out the middle of the rope. They're kind of the devil. But I recycled all of their remnant rope and I got really inspired by it. So can you be sustainable? Yes. It's just about a mindset and making your mind up and saying, all right, I'm going to take some steps to do so.
And I'll just add one thing. I think I don't look at the word sustainability anymore. I think of responsibility. And I think it's, for a brand to be 100% sustainable, you're still making something that's becoming something on this earth, right? So it's not possible in my vision, but it is possible to be responsible in the way that you create things, be responsible with those that work for your company, and then also be responsible as a consumer when you purchase something to maintain it, to keep it as long as you can, not just buy it to wear it once, right? So if you think of the responsibility aspect, I think that's possible.
Now I have to make an assumption that some people in the audience are probably either looking to launch a brand or have a brand or looking to get into the business one way or another. So I'm asking the panelists, what steps can they take to become sustainable?
Definitely educate yourself. Look, ask questions, find out who actually made that product. What are they saying on their website? And is that really true? I know it takes time and it's a bit tedious, but it is so very much important that we as a community start asking questions. And did the person get paid who made my product? What impact was it on the planet in order to make my product? So it is really, really important that all of us are asking questions, and we have so much power to support the brands that actually are sustainable by not purchasing those who are not. Yeah.
Anyone else? Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, this is also, everybody's in business, or at least dealing with businesses, and this sustainability is costly, and it affects your margin, it affects your business, it affects you where you produce, how you produce. Can you tell us a little about that? I mean, how do you deal with all that? I mean, you have to deal with special manufacturing, you have increased costs.
So for Kopu in particular, you know, for aluminum, it's a sustainability warrior, but it's also about 10 times more expensive than plastic to produce and about 5 times more expensive than glass to produce. So to build a business that has staying power, and I think that that is really important when you're building a sustainable brand. You see a lot of sustainable brands come and they see these challenges. And to have staying power, there's got to be, you got to marry it with a quality product that the consumer values. You know, if you give them something that's high quality, it looks good, it feels good, it's healthy, from my industry, they're going to buy into that, and they also are supporting the sustainable mission. But I don't think that we could ask the consumer to sacrifice what they're used to and their standards for sustainability and expect that staying power in the market. So,
Great. Anyone else? Okay.
If we were talking about our processing, from the beginning, we've been thinking about like how at the end we can produce something that can be useful for so many years, not just like I bought new t-shirt, take one picture on Instagram, it's good to go, I'm throwing this away. For example, our fabric, you will tired, like all boring already wearing, like I want a new pieces, it will be the same shape and the same quality. And this is like, thank you so much for our like innovation team, my scientist guy. And it's for us, it was super easy because we just started and we built it from the beginning and we can be 100% sustainable. For huge brands, of course, for them, it's not easy to change all the process. We have another project, we created biodegradable plastic. We have unique characteristic, our plastic can keep a scent. And we have the conversation with the biggest guy in the market. They have 26 manufacturers. They want to use our plastic, and they, like, for them, it will add an extra 50 cents for each product. And they said, no, and it's not working for us. It's all about the money. And for new brands, it's easy to think how we can start it from the beginning and be more sustainable. Yes, this is how we started, and we're pretty successful. We have great margin. Our price is like affordable, I would say. But when you will see the quality and you wear like 3 years, it costs like much more than you buying like swimsuit for $20-$50, or like price around 200. But it's worth money 100%. Yes.
Anyone else? On that same note, since you have added production, how does technology play a role in here?
Technology. So I feel like nowadays with technology, you can start a brand with just a concept, and until the consumer buys it, you don't have to spend any money. So when you look at generative AI and creating garments that don't exist in real life, from the design concept to even putting it on a generative model, the entire thing can be produced, put in a website. When the consumer shows, when there's demand, you do on-demand manufacturing, which there's companies now that are doing that very well. So you can literally now create a brand, and until you know there's demand, you don't produce anything. So I think that that's pretty amazing when it comes to technology and, the chances that there are with that. And I also think, when you look at just digital, right? So there is a company, and of course, it escaped my mind right now, but they received an LVMH prize. What's the name? Oh my gosh. It's like the biggest digital clothing company, but it's there. But you can now, as an influencer, even, when you're talking about buying a piece of garment, you don't have to buy anything anymore. You can literally just dress yourself in this digital clothing to be able to post and have different lifestyles, Web3, like all these things, right? So there's so much. And the thing is just looking for it, because I feel like sometimes I talk to brands and they're like, I wish this existed. And it does. There's so many startup tech companies around the world. So anything is possible with technology today, and sustainability, I believe, is really winning with tech. Good answer.
Anyone else? So, okay. So anyway, on the same line of thinking, here's my question. Does the consumer care? I mean, they care about your sustainability, but I mean, you have to make a great product. people are gonna love it. We just made a comment, Mindy's bottles, that was like the coolest bottle ever. And I think it's almost like equally important. A lot of companies come out there and say, I'm gonna be a sustainable brand, and they're just sustainable. So anybody want to add to that?
Yeah, I think that is just like we were saying. I think it's a really important aspect as we build this momentum behind sustainability. Unfortunately, it's been such a buzzword, a lot of greenwashing and things like this that kind of made people a little fatigued with sustainable brands and what's sustainable. Is it authentic? And when you're building something authentic, it's hard. You're going to face the challenges. But if you give the consumer quality and you focus on giving that benefit of it, something that looks good, that's chic, then you can get the masses into this and saying, actually, sustainability married with luxury or married with style is the future of really getting that movement some real friction.
And what are some of the challenges? I mean, you guys all have your certain views of sustainability. So give me some of the challenges, some of the pitfalls. I look at Sasha too.
Our first challenge was actually to be presented in Miami Swim Week a few years ago. First time we applied for the expo and we were rejected. They said, like, you know what? We kind of like you, but no, we don't have place for you. I said, we are paying money. We're ready to pay. No, they didn't accept us. But within few weeks, I had a call with amazing person, Elizabeth, my friend. She's like, okay, Sasha, one of my friends want to introduce you to me. Tell me about your passion, about your swimsuit line. And I tell everything like 20 minutes. She said, like, yes, we will give you the place. We will give you the place to do runaway, and after that everything started for us. But it was a huge challenge first actually to be in the first expo. They rejected us, and first year we didn't say that we are sustainable, making from recyclable plastic. We say you can transfer the fabric without endless. We have shapewear like effect, girls, you like it. And only last year we start to opening up and saying actually, we are sustainable. Actually, we are using this technology. And I think it's hot topic only actually maybe year and a half. And right now the customers wow, yes, this is important for us. And we have a lot of customers returning rate close to 50%. It's really huge rate for the consumer products, have this support from the customers.
That's great.
So, sustainability long had the attachment to that you have to be a hippie. Nothing wrong with hippies, don't get me wrong, but it was you have to be a certain type of person in order to love the earth and to do something good for the planet. That thankfully is shifting now, and we also see this in our beach cleanups. In the beginning it was often I'm not picking up other people's trash. What do I have to do with their trash? But let me tell you, leaving the trash in nature is even worse. And I really am excited about how companies, corporations, brands, organizations want to do something for the planet. They want to help. They want to commit. Say, we're not just talking about sustainability, we're really about it. So that's what I see as a response to a challenge we have had in the beginning, but it thankfully is shifting now.
Anyone else? Oh, yeah.
The last thing I want to say, I think the challenge for sustainable brands is profit. And I say that because many sustainable brands are on demand. As I said, there's a good side of technology and then there's a side that it is on demand. So it's a little hard to scale, right? And we saw that with Mara Hoffman, who about 2 weeks ago went out of business. She was the poster child for sustainability. I was heartbroken, 24 years getting awards by the CFDA, all these things, and she couldn't keep up, right? So I don't know what the answer is for it, but that's a big issue, right? When you're talking about profit. So again, it could come down to the consumers starting to demand it, because I've heard a lot of mass brands say, why am I going to do this? Is there going to be profit? Do consumers care? That question comes up often with bigger brands. So I don't know, it's a challenge, and I think it's going to remain to be a challenge for a bit, but yeah.
Okay, and a slightly political question, but should the government step in? Should they be enforcing this to some degree?
Sorry.
And how are they? If they are, how are they?
Absolutely, yes, of course. We need legislation. We need better regulations about sustainable stamps, like eco-friendly, reef safe, all these things. Anybody could print it on their products, and that's confusing for the consumer. Consumer is trying, but surprise, it's not working. So yes, we do need legislation, and we need better regulation about how much can be consumed, produced. Plastic comes from fossil fuels. There should be also a regulation how much we produce a year, something that's really, really, really important. Also, the state of Florida is preempted from banning any plastic in the state of Florida, which is crazy for a municipality who want to implement a ban, but simply cannot because Florida says, no, you can't. So yes, absolutely, we need to vote.
On a side note, one quick question: how do you get nominated for the Badass Woman of the Year award?
How I got it nominated, I believe somebody just nominated me for.
I think that's amazing. Sorry, just a side note.
Thank you so much. Thank you, appreciate it. Yes.
Did you want to add?
Really what I was going to say, of course, legislation is a huge part of it, but also incentive. What we do is for one of our resort clients, we eliminated 52 tons of landfill waste by collecting all of the aluminum from this resort. There's no incentive for that. It's literally something that we're doing to help this recycling program and the breakdown of it in a significant way for the city of Miami. And I think that there should be some incentive for other companies to do things like this to move forward.
Great. Anyone else? Okay. So what's the future look like? Tell us. What's the future look like of sustainability? Bright.
It looks dang good. It really does. It's
damn good.
Okay, damn. I feel really good. When we got started 5 years ago, especially going into restaurants and hotels, where 98% of the water served in American hospitality is European. So it's shipped in from halfway around the world, and heavy glass goes right into our landfills. People were not on board. I don't know, it's aluminum. And every year it gets better and better as more and more people join this mission. And not only are we getting these new clients, but it's very successful in these environments that it's in hospitality. So I think it's bright. I think more people are getting on board with it, and the mission is strong.
Anyone else want to add?
Recycle and buy vintage. That's all I could say. I mean, we have so many clothes out there. There's millions and millions of discarded things. And all of this, it's weird. I could tell you a story about my garbage man. I have a green pail and the recycle pail. And just a couple of weeks ago, I said, I came out with some stuff, and she said to me, it was a woman garbage man. She said, oh, just put them in the garbage. We don't have money to recycle all that plastic and cardboard. Just mix it. It all goes to the same landfill in Hialeah. What was I supposed to say about that? That's what's happening. Yeah, that's what's happening. We don't have the facilities to recycle in South Florida. There's no plants to melt plastic and to save tin and aluminum and all of that. So I guess the government would be a great thing to start with all your communities, all your legislation people, and tell them this has got to stop. But who's going to put the money behind it? So then let's write to the government. I mean, this lady here knows all about it. She's cleaning beaches, for God's sakes. I mean,
thank you. That is absolutely correct. The future is bright. All of you are here today learning about and talking about sustainability. A few years ago, nobody did. And I am very excited about the future. I know we can do it. And I know with little changes in our everyday lives, they all have a really big impact. When we talk about climate change, where to start? I know it's so complex, it's completely overwhelming, but everyone should feel empowered with little changes and little commitments in our everyday life, and you will see one thing leads to another. So together as a community, we can definitely help protect the ocean.
Excellent. Okay, anyone else? So give me some examples. What brands out there are like killing it in this area? Okay. Sasha's brand.
Yes.
Yes, but otherwise, yes, exactly. Anybody on the forefront? I mean, anybody that really got established? I mean, you mentioned Maura Hoffman, that wasn't good, but anybody really successful out there?
I would like to talk about a brand that is up and rising. It's called Sway the Future. It is a brand that has developed a technology to produce a plastic film that is actually made from seaweed and is 100% biodegradable in your home compost. And they are up and rising, trying to eliminate packaging, single-use plastic packaging with their seaweed packaging. And that also excites me to see that there is a way to develop new products that are actually good for the planet. Because to be honest, getting rid of plastic, I personally don't think that is possible. I mean, I wish. And there's just too many factors play a role. But seeing companies being innovative and producing new things, studying, researching, and really trying to make a difference, I do see there's an uprising. So that's a really great thing for the future.
Yep.
Bring your own bags to the supermarket.
Bring your own bags? Yes, please.
Bring your own bags to the supermarket and stop taking the plastic ones. Really. Because in California, it's outlawed. You go to the supermarket, they're like, where's your bag? Carry it out. You know what I mean? They don't do it. So bring your own bags. That would be a start, a little start right here, you know?
Yeah.
I think a few brands that come to mind. So Patagonia, Stella McCartney, Gabriella Hearst. Like, I feel like there's a few people that are still, Patagonia is one that is known, right? Like by the masses. But then you also, I think there are also brands like Ralph Lauren. They're not a known brand to be sustainable, but they're doing a lot of initiatives towards sustainability with capsule collections and different things that they're bringing in. So again, I think we need to get away from this perfection of what we want sustainability to be and just focus on what it can be. Focus on the responsibility that brands are taking to, even if it's not fully sustainable, which again, I don't believe it can be, like, whatever they are doing, if it's making a difference, every step counts, right? So I think that's what I would say.
Yes.
Great. Excellent. Okay, just to wrap it up, last question, and we'll open up for questions from the audience. Question is, what excites you? What excites you about going forward? Anybody can just answer. We're kind of
I'm just
minimal
going to say
time,
vintage. Vintage excites me. I mean, vintage. Go to the Salvation Army. The 100% of your money goes back into the community to homeless, drug addicts. In Wynwood, they have a whole big, gigantic building where they house these people. Go to the Salvation Army. It's even better than the Goodwill because the Goodwill is privately owned and they only give 5% to the community. So Salvation Army is where it's at.
I think what excites me is that everyone's here. This is part of Miami Swim Week, and
excellent.
It's chic, it's sexy, and we're talking about sustainability. So that's significant progress in where we've been.
Amazing.
Second that. And what also excites me a lot is when people come to my beach cleanups and then say to me at the end, wow, I had no idea. And then weeks later, I receive a message, by the way, I completely eliminated single-use plastic out of my life. I've received these messages. It's the best, like people that never heard about it, just want to help out, come out and actually understand what this is about.
Where are you doing those beach?
We do beach cleanups all along South Beach and around Biscayne Bay. It's Clean Miami Beach. Join us. Follow us on Instagram. We're posting all the events. Everybody's welcome. Clean Miami Beach.
Wow.
Can we bring it to New Jersey?
Oh, on a very exciting, I don't think I'm allowed to say it yet, but I'm already going to say we're about to launch Clean New York City. So let's get that a big round of applause. Thank you.
To answer the question, what excites me, customer reactions. And not like first time, oh my gosh, it's not see-through, I love it. But when they wear in our swimwear, like 1 month, 2 months, like, oh my gosh, I can't wear anything else. I love it so much. I'm already wearing 2 years at the same shape and the same quality. Like, we are doing something right. This is excites me every day.
Great. Okay, well, that's it on sustainability. I think we're going to skip the questions because we got to move into our next talk. We'll start in a few minutes, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone. Really appreciate it.
Can we take a photo before we head to?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Can we get
absolutely.
a photo? I love vintage.
Get a photo?